A matchup made for Sunday night.
Let's go.
Lean on your front. Lay it all on the line.
Let's crush it, guys.
97, animate, dissolve.
I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. The tough get rough in a primetime fight. More than a game, it's every fan's right. That's why we're waiting all day for Sunday night. All right, what a night, it's finally here. Sunday night football's kicking into high gear. The stars have arrived, come on, get up and cheer. Hey Jack, it's a back, the show's back in town. Ravens and the Pats in a nasty showdown. The stadium's rocking, time to crank up the sound. The NFL's best have come to play. Coast to coast, there's just one thing left to say. I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. The tough get rough in a primetime fight. More than a game, it's every fan's right. That's why we're waiting all day for Sunday night.
Drake May, what a play!
Showtime.
Jackson will keep it. There he goes!
Waiting all day for Sunday night.
The first night of winter in Baltimore, Maryland. 33 degrees at M&T Bank Stadium, home of the two-time Super Bowl champion, Baltimore Ravens. They're 7-7, led by their two-time MVP Lamar Jackson tonight, taking on second-year star Drake May and the 11-3 New England Patriots on NBC's Sunday Night Football. Good evening, thanks for having us in. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark. We've flexed into a terrific game here tonight, Chris. New England, 10 straight wins. They've got the team that's been at the top of the AFC, Buffalo, down 21-0 at their place. Then the Bills come back. So, the Bills win again today. A little concern for the Patriots now. What are they walking into here?
Well, I think they're walking into a nasty football game. I really do. The Ravens are fighting for their playoff lives out here tonight. And Drake May definitely belongs in the MVP race, no question about that. But he has never seen anything like he's going to experience out here. Is Drake May ready for a Super Bowl run? We're going to know a lot more after this one.
Baltimore story, I think a lot of you know it. They were 1-5. They clawed their way back into this thing. Chris, they have a chance if they win out to win the AFC North. But it really has to come down to Lamar Jackson and how well will he play down the stretch.
And he's been struggling with that hamstring for a long time now. He still runs, but he doesn't really run like MVP Lamar, you know? But it's time, and I expect the full Lamar Jackson experience tonight, and I can't wait to see it, honestly. If the Ravens get in this playoff, though, they're going to be dangerous.
We've already gotten a lot of good gifts this week in the NFL. What's under the tree tonight? Can't wait for this one. Implications all across the AFC. We've got the Patriots and the Ravens flexed into this one for you on Sunday Night Football.
Waiting all day for Sunday night.
NBC Sports, home of Super Bowl 60, welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Headlines tonight in Baltimore. Ravens win out. They are in the playoffs for the fourth straight year. Patriots end a 3-year playoff drought if they get a win tonight. One of the key players on the Baltimore defense, Kyle Hamilton, injury question with him. For the latest on that, we check in with Melissa Stark. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Mike. That's right. Kyle Hamilton injured his right ankle in practice on Friday. We were there, and we saw him walk off the field with his shoe in his hand. He was listed as questionable coming into tonight. Didn't test it out pregame, just came out for regular padded warm-ups. He has a heavy tape job on that right ankle. I spoke to him just a few minutes ago, and I asked him if he has any limitations. He said no. He gave me a thumbs up, and he said, I'm good to go. It is worth pointing out his teammates have a nickname for him, Lazarus. because he's always rising from the dead with these injuries, but certainly something to keep an eye on tonight, Mike.
It certainly is. It changes so much for Mike Vrabel and John Harbaugh on Hamilton's availability. Amazingly, in the AFC, 6 teams have double-digit wins with 2 games left, and only 1 is in the playoffs. That is Denver. New England joins them in the playoffs with a win here tonight. On that Baltimore side, as I mentioned, even with the Pittsburgh win at Detroit, Baltimore, if they go win, get to 10-7 and would edge out Pittsburgh. All of those headlines don't factor in ties. If we get close to a tie, we'll deal with that then. How about that?
You'll deal with that.
Thanks. Good to be with you tonight. Toss was won by New England. They defer the option in the second half, so Baltimore is going to get it first. Andy Borregales trying to put a fork in that football. The rookie kicker set to send it away for the Patriots. And back deep for the Ravens, the deepest one, LeJonte Wester. They like him to have the ball as Patrick Ricard, the fullback, is there to try to block for him. Not that much wind. Low pressure system came through, high pressure system building behind it, and by about 5 or 6 hours we missed a pretty windy evening here in Baltimore. It is comfortable with the temperature in the 30s. The 43-yard line. So Jackson, injury-filled season, as Chris alluded to. He missed 3 games early with a hamstring, but nagging stuff all year as he's at the line of scrimmage here. You know, he's missed a day of practice each of the last 6 weeks. He's not running as much this year. Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Ford. Ready, set, Ford. By Walmart Express Delivery, gifts in as fast as an hour. And by Royal Caribbean. It's big time. Big-time moments. Brady, Flacco, other players through the years of this Ravens-Patriots series. Tonight, the 17th meeting. 4 of them coming in the playoffs. All 4 are in New England in a 6-year stretch. This meeting starts with a Derrick Henry touchdown, so Drake May and the Pats will have some work to do. 42-yard line, about a half dozen on that one. Drake May, off his poorest game of the season versus Buffalo, is one of 2 all year without a touchdown pass. But as you see, it has been a terrific season. 2nd year in the league, he leads the league in completion percentage. Other numbers really strong. 3rd overall pick of the 2024 draft. And every game you watch, every time you're around him, you feel more comfortable. The Pats have their guy. What if your eyes and ears were hacked? Simu Liu and Melissa Barrera star in the thrilling spy series The Copenhagen Test, streaming December 27th, only on Peacock. And we show you the National Cryptologic Museum, celebrating some of the history of the Intel community, some of the things that they've dug up over the years. Where Jelani Tavai could stop him. First down, Baltimore.
One of the problems when you're playing against a team like the Baltimore Ravens offense is their base defense. You see quite a bit of Keaton Mitchell, and it doesn't take anything away from Derrick Henry. Maybe it helps him. But
Tonight's SNF sites are provided by Nationwide. This is the home of Mary Pickersgill. 1793, she made the American flag that flew over Fort McHenry, inspiring Francis Scott Key to write the words that became our country's national anthem. Many of you had trips back in your young school days, came by Fort McHenry, maybe saw some of that. A little bit of the history here in Baltimore. Quarter 2 begins. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark on the sideline. Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Hyundai. Welcome to more in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. By Anaconda, in theaters this Christmas. And by AWS AI, how the NFL levels up the game. Thank the folks at Phillips Seafood here in Baltimore to give you the sampler. Baltimore or New England? Lobster clam bake, the hard shell, they get the lobster roll or the crab cake sandwich, New England clam chowder, or vegetable crab soup.
where's the sample?
You'd like the sampler.
Well, you're thanking them. Where is it?
I thank them for showing it to us. I know you'd love the soup. You are the soup king. As we get towards the holiday season in the Inner Harbor, all even at 7. As you enjoy the holidays with the family, great doubleheader on our family networks on Peacock, exclusive on Saturday night. It's these Ravens up in Lambeau to take on the Packers, and then the Bears, the playoff-bound Bears, and the San Francisco 49ers. Two terrific games for you next weekend on Peacock first, and then NBC and Peacock. 7-7 lead. Before that sack, Chris was hot. He is 9 of 10 the last two drives.
Yeah, you don't believe the hype about this guy being in the MVP hunt? Check this out. But I'm just going to say, you give this much time to any quarterback in the NFL, it's going to work out pretty well. I don't think they got a finger on him until that sack by Draymond. Just watch this thing, though. All right, throw it down, just walk away. Before it's even gone, just walk away.
Cool. That was cool.
That's what I'm talking about. Just throw it and walk away.
You know, it's hard because if you go into the stadium, the quarterback who was there 5 years ago, there's a statue, Tom Brady. So you're following Tom Brady, but in year two, he's handling all of that at this point. And his play has been so good, the reason the Pats in the mix here in the AFC at 11-3. Inside of 50 days, just 47 days till the Winter Olympics on NBC and Peacock. Guy from about 50 miles from here, Fairfax, Virginia. Ilya Malinin, the favorite for gold in figure skating, called the quad god. The moves he makes on the ice, unlike anybody else in the world, the volume with which he does it. The reigning two-time world champ, just one of the stars of what may be as good a Team USA as has competed in the Winter Olympics in a generation. All part of our Olympic coverage from Milan and Cortina in Italy. Opening ceremony the Friday before Super Bowl Sunday, which is only 7 weeks away. Machine Ali is back. That's the third straight touchback. Ravens get it at the 35. And this look at Lamar Jackson and gassing up the Ferrari, if you will, is brought to you by NyQuil. Lamar Jackson brings speed, but the check engine light has been on for Lamar this year. What do we mean? Look, weeks 1 through 4 before his hamstring injury, big numbers, not the same type of numbers since week 9 after that hamstring injury suffered against Kansas City. Rushing yards per game, 27 below his career average. This is the interesting one. 20-plus yard runs. Career, 51. This year, none. It always felt like you watched a Ravens game and there's another Lamar run.
Coming up on Toyota Halftime, we'll hear the reaction from a wild finish in Detroit, a game that ended with a touchdown taken away by a penalty, and 6 teams could still earn the #1 seed in a wide-open AFC. Mike?
Yeah, Maria, it is a typical crazy finish within games and also within each conference. We're short for you on the Toyota Halftime. Baltimore situation, win-win-win. They're in the playoffs with that Pittsburgh win in Detroit. Not the best for the Ravens. Halftime. 10-10. Interesting wind up to the half and a lot of questions about the second half with Lamar Jackson's injury that we will be keeping an eye on. Ball belongs to New England to get the second half going. And here's Melissa.
Mike, an up and down half for your young quarterback. What's your message to him at the half?
Well, that we got a lot of football left. We battled back and we tied the game, and we'll get the ball here to start the second half. We'll have to be better than we were in the first half.
If Lamar Jackson can't go, how does that change things defensively?
Well, again, Tyler's still going to be able to be mobile and everything else, and they've got great runners, they've got great receivers and tight ends. So, we'll have to continue to play like we did after the first series.
Mike, thanks.
Thanks.
Trying to get into the playoffs with a win of the Patriots. They're all even with the Ravens at 10. The ball belongs to New England. Start the second half, and we are with Maria Taylor now for the Toyota Halftime. MT.
Thanks, Mike. Coming up on the Toyota Halftime, a crazy final drive in Detroit and what it means for the playoff race, and how the Jags could earn the #1 seed in the AFC after today's statement win in Denver. That's all coming up next.
Want more stats? Just ask Siri. Who leads the league in receiving touchdowns? Tonight's first half coverage is presented by Progressive.
The Ravens are fighting for their playoff lives.
Can't wait for this one on Sunday Night Football. Derrick Henry, house call.
That is a sensational start.
Man, fires intercepted.
It's game on.
Henry lost the football. Let's go. May, touchdown, New England. Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Progressive, insurance for coverage you can count on.
To the second half from Baltimore, all even at 10. Time for our SNF storylines, powered by AWS. Lamar Jackson, questionable to return with the back injury. Get you the latest when we have it. Left the game late second quarter. As for the defense on the Baltimore side, notice the 3 sacks. They've been trouble getting pressure on the quarterback this year. A couple of takeaways as well. From Drake May, who, when not pressured, has been terrific. Under pressure, we've seen those couple of turnovers and the 3 sacks for Baltimore. 10-10, temperature in the 30s, not too windy. December night, first night of winter. Winter solstice happened just around 10 a.m. local time, and the Ravens might be facing a long offseason if they do not take care of business over the last couple of games. Again, 3 wins for Baltimore, and they win the AFC North. Pittsburgh fans watching and rooting for the Patriots, who are in the playoffs with a win or tie here tonight. Kyle Williams, the kickoff return to begin this second half. Hard hit on Williams, just shy of the 30. Here's Melissa a moment ago with John Harbaugh.
John, what's the update on Lamar?
They're working on right now, stretching. We'll see how he feels coming out.
Okay, so what changes with Tyler Huntley under center?
It really won't change the game plan much offensively. You know, Tyler does everything Lamar does if he has to play, but we'll see what happens.
John, thanks.
Thanks.
Tyler Huntley's experience has started a playoff game for the Ravens, reacquired by this team earlier this year. We'll dive deeper into that as we watch when Baltimore gets the ball. We did not see Jackson come out with the team. About 405 years after the original Mayflower, another Mayflower shows up in New England. Drake May, who you see in the largest improvement by a second-year quarterback this year with those passing numbers from year 1 to year 2. Drew Bledsoe did that when he was at the Patriots. That completion percentage we pointed out at the top for a 23-year-old, impressive to be at the top of the league. The last player under 24 to lead the NFL in completion percentage, go all the way back 1958, John Brodie. A terrific star. His college days at Stanford, all-pro with the 49ers. Won a golf event on the senior tour, actually. John Brodie, tremendous guy who was an early success story for the 49ers, but it's been that long since a passer has come in that young and been the most accurate in the league. As you finish your Christmas preps, we've got an NBA doubleheader Tuesday night. We'll be in Dallas to see Cooper Flagg, the young sensation, against Jokic and the Nuggets, and then the Rockets and the Clippers. More stars on the floor there on NBC and Peacock. Carmelo Anthony will be in the studio. The pride of Baltimore, West Baltimore to be specific. It's the House of Mello exhibit, honoring the great, including national championship in Syracuse. Carmelo in the studio with our team. Look forward to fun Tuesday night of NBA action. 13-10, Patriots on top. Regardless with the kick, Rasheen Ali from 3 deep, going to take a knee. Ravens will have it at the 35, Chris.
All right, let's take a look at our next gen stats powered by AWS, and it has been a battle on the outside. 2 star players, Zay Flowers against Christian Gonzalez. Gonzalez, no question, the best cover guy on this Patriots team, but so far tonight, I would say Zay Flowers may be a bit of a win, and probably need to get the ball back to him as quickly as you can, because he has the ability to catch, stop, run, create some moves. Very good at it.
Post-holidays for soccer fans, terrific. Premier League has a ton of games through Christmas and New Year's. We call it the festive fixtures. Chelsea and Aston Villa will get us started Saturday, NBC Peacock, 12:30 Eastern Time. Chris, because of the penalty tack on, the kickoff comes at midfield for Baltimore, giving them options.
Yeah, and all they've got to do here is try to kick the ball into the end zone, and it goes 30 yards past this, right to the 20-yard line.
Tonight's SNF sites are provided by Nationwide on this first night in winter 2025. Baltimore, Maryland. We're inside the Bromo Seltzer Tower, which is now Bromo Seltzer Arts Tower, right in downtown. Lit up purple as much of the city is when the Ravens play. Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL. Let's go places. By Liberty Mutual Insurance, only pay for what you need. And by Walmart Express Delivery, gifts in as fast as an hour. Only 4 more sleeps until the big guy shows up. Christmas Village at the Inner Harbor here in Baltimore. Chin up, head up. Trying to get the Pats ready to go. Stephon Diggs and company trailing by 11. By the way, a statistical change. They've taken a yard away from Diggs, so he's sitting on 99 yards at the moment. Not a 100-yard game just yet. Here is Johnson joins Kyle Williams back to receive. It is Williams who will get it with a return opportunity for the 4. He's looking for a little block there, taken out the edge and brought down. Good special teamer Jake Hummel makes it a long field.
All right, let's take a look at our 4K Skycam delivered by Walmart. And I don't usually vote for player of the game, but I am tonight. Tyler Linderbaum has had an evening. He's knocking people down, delivering for Derrick Henry, delivering for Zay Flowers here. Everywhere he goes, he's on the ground. The defenders are on the ground. Tyler Linderbaum is one of the players of the game tonight, or I'll buy him a ball myself.
Week 17, 2 games for you, for us on Peacock, the holiday exclusive. The Ravens and the Packers will see the health of both quarterbacks. Football night starts 7:30 Eastern. Peacock exclusive. Our Sunday night game, blockbuster game. In the playoffs, the Chicago Bears against the San Francisco 49ers, who play tomorrow night in Indianapolis. Football night, as per usual, 7 Eastern time.
How about that Bears game? I've never seen it like that in my whole life.
They're on live 50 and 55. Forget 9 lives to these Bears. What a season it has been. Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, and the Bears, and we get to see them at the Super Bowl site next Sunday night. Rasheen Ali, the return. Anthony Jennings had a hand on him. The rest of the special teamers will stop the mosh pit around the 30-yard line. The story in the AFC, a bunch of teams with double-digit wins, 6 of them, but only Denver has clinched a playoff spot. New England gets in with a win tonight. Multiple teams can get in if Indianapolis does not win tomorrow. And given all of that, Chris, after New England's 10-game win streak, and here they are still alive for the #1 seed, as a bunch of those teams are. Pretty important 8:52 here for the Patriots.
No question about it for Baltimore as well. You know, Baltimore has to get this thing down to that last game of the season against Pittsburgh for them to win the division and get in. A lot on the line here at the end of this game.
Just a reminder of what is at stake. Both teams 2 games remaining after this one. If the Ravens lose tonight, they no longer control their path in the AFC North. Pittsburgh would clinch next week with a win or a Baltimore loss. So that is why it's very important for the Ravens. Patriots, if they don't win, could still get in the playoffs by the end of this week 16 in the NFL. That would be with a Colts loss against San Francisco tomorrow night, where they control their path to get to the playoffs with 3 straight wins, how important it was. And they go down double digits here in the 4th. And I don't think I need to remind New England fans the last time they were down 11 or more in the 4th, what happened in that Super Bowl against Atlanta. Helps out New England. Baltimore and their, Chris, 11 games losing with that 7+ point lead in the 4th quarter since 2021.
And because Mike Vrabel did the right thing on the prior touchdown to cut it to 3, now they score a touchdown and a field goal does them no harm. So Snoop is going to have to put them in the end zone here.
Season for Baltimore 3-6. But this was a 4th quarter for the Patriots, and it is a Patriots night after missing the playoffs in the last 3 years. And Mike Vrabel's first year leading the Pats, New England will be a part of the tournament. The Patriots clinch a playoff berth.
I don't know that Mike Vrabel's ever going to be more proud of a football team than he is of this one right here.
There he was with the guy who he coached for a half dozen years, Derrick Henry. He'll do the Vrabel sprint out of here, and he'll go up to greet every Patriot as they come up the ramp to the locker room. New England back in the postseason. Patriots win 28-24. Chevrolet postgame comes up after these messages.
Welcome to the Chevrolet postgame. Here now, Mike Tirico.
The biggest improvement in the NFL this year, the New England Patriots, who beat Baltimore with a 15-point fourth quarter as they rally from down double digits to win 28-24 and take the second playoff spot in the AFC to be clinched. 6 teams still alive for the number 1 seed, but even with 6 double-digit win teams, only 2 are in the playoffs. The Broncos, who earned that last week, and New England, who is now in the postseason with the victory this week. We'll talk more about Baltimore in a moment, but let's focus on the Patriots' victory as we interview our Chevrolet players of the game. The stars of this game got to be Drake May with that first in 49-game 300-yard passing performance by a New England quarterback. Stephon Diggs, who came up big, and Kayvon Chason, who made the big play at the fourth quarter with 3 tackles and the forced fumble in the victory. And Chris, there are teams that in the fourth quarter, when that clear pass interference was not called on Baltimore, would have wilted, would have been affected by that. New England kept coming down the field, and Drake May led them on a go-ahead drive.
I thought a little bit early on, it looked like Drake May was a little unsettled by some of the different exotic looks. By about the second quarter, I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of that the rest of the night. He looked like he was in total control of this football game. And when he started with the ball back on his own 10-yard line, you just had to wonder. You know, we've seen the best of the best take their teams in that situation under that kind of pressure on the road and deliver. And that's exactly what he did. Any standard you want to have, that's what he did.
Let's hear from him. He and the other stars down on the field with Melissa.
Yeah, they are here. All right, Mike, thanks very much. We heard the MVP chants. You guys clinch a playoff berth. What does this mean to this team?
Man, I just love playing with these guys. I enjoyed every time out here. What a beautiful sport. Thank the good Lord for bringing us out here today and let us get away for a win. It's a great team we played, and just glad we got it done this week.
And Chris Collinsworth was talking about during the game that nothing rattles you. How did you remain so calm being down late in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, that's just league. You're going to face adversity. These guys have helped me out, just pumping me up, supporting me, and just trying to, feed off the older guys around me. We got a lot of great young players, and we're going to be good, down the road, but, just get home and, celebrate in that locker room.
You just mentioned these guys helping you out. Okay, you had the big forced fumble that got your offense back the ball to seal the game. Walk us through the play.
Yeah, no, most definitely, man. Bray's been talking all week, man. The turnover margin is going to be huge for us. So we knew going out there, man, we need a huge play. We need an X play, man. I saw the ball, man. I knew the opportunity was for us. And so see ball, get ball, and that's the play we made.
Stephon, come on over here, because we saw your play on the field. Oh, there's that one. We saw your play on the field. We saw your leadership on the sideline. How determined were you to will this team to win?
Well, it's really not me at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a beacon or like a vessel on this team, and the guys get behind me. I talk a lot of junk. I say a lot on the sidelines, but I'm just happy to be around this group of guys, being able with a young quarterback that's MVP talent, MVP guy. It's just a blessing to be out here. I'm thankful to be out here, be healthy, and just be around the boys for real, and get a win on the road. Road Warriors.
Finally, what is this team capable of?
Next week. I get one next week.
You're humble. Yes. All right, guys, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And if they get next week at the Jets, they would clinch the AFC East. If the Bills lose to Philadelphia, big Week 17 matchups. So New England still has the opportunity to take care of business with either next week or Week 18 and win the East. Now, Chris, I'd love to go to the Baltimore side of this, because really it's like a magic number of 1 to go back to the baseball terms. Any combination of a Steeler win or a Raven loss, the Baltimore season is done, which makes essential Baltimore playing in that Peacock exclusive on Saturday up in Green Bay against the Packers. Packers might be in a situation where it's win and in, or if Detroit has already lost on Christmas Day against Minnesota, then Green Bay would already be in. There's a lot to talk about with the Ravens and the Packers next week at Lambeau.
Yeah, and I think for the Ravens, they're going to have to think about what they're doing with Derrick Henry. Like, I don't think that Derrick Henry touched the ball after he scored the touchdown to give them the lead. And whether or not that's the right approach, who knows? We have seen Mitchell make some great plays, and his speed has definitely been a factor. But sometimes you got to ride the veteran horses when you're in the biggest of moments. and maybe could have done that a little bit more here tonight.
And some disappointing losses at home for a Ravens team that's been great at home over the last 20 years. A very tough year at 3-6. That game's on Peacock, Saturday night exclusive, 7:30 football night. Packers, Ravens, playoff implications. Patriots are the ones having the last dance at M&T tonight as they rally in the fourth quarter to win 28-24. We'll have more on this incredible weekend after this.
Welcome back to the Chevrolet postgame.
Time now for your Peacock Picks of the Week. Reunite with some old friends this season with the Best Man holiday. Then head back to Bel Air with the episodes of the final season streaming now. Get ready for Peacock NBA Monday tomorrow night. Hornets and the Cavs, who have been one of the hard-to-solve riddles in the NBA this year. Then the Grizzlies against the Thunder, best record in the league. That's 9:30 Eastern on Peacock tomorrow. And right now on Peacock Sunday Night Football Final, Hunter Henry joining Jack Collinsworth, Tony Dungy, Rodney Harrison as they start right now on Peacock. Chris and I will take you through this really terrific weekend all the way through, just the Sunday stuff. The Bucks in a free fall. The scene in Charlotte was awesome. Good for you, Carolina folks. The Panthers are the solo leaders in the NFC South for the first time since 2021. Those two teams do meet week 18. The Steelers go to Detroit. Controversy at the end. Steelers get it done. Lions couldn't run the ball on the ground, and Detroit is at the brink of elimination for getting back to the playoffs. Then there's the story of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who went to the team with the best record in the AFC, Denver. And Trevor Lawrence put on a show. Parker Washington at 6 for 145. The tight end Strange had a touchdown. And Travis Etienne with this move, in addition to his 50 yards on the ground. And they go in and beat Denver 34-20. And Jacksonville is one of those multiple teams still alive for the #1 seed. There are a lot of teams that haven't gotten enough credit this year. They may be near the top of the list.
Liam Combs done an unbelievable job with that guy right there.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is more decisive than I have seen him at any point during any 3 or 4 game stretch in his entire career. He now looks like the player that we all thought he was going to be. He was the can't-miss quarterback coming out of college, right? And yet it hasn't quite gotten together yet. But, man, he is tight with his game right now. He looks like Drake May out there throwing it around. Just looks confident, knows exactly what he's doing, and Jacksonville's on a roll.
And their defense came up with some plays in the second half against Bo Nix and the Broncos. Credit Anthony Campanelli, their defensive coordinators, getting some mentions for potential head coaching jobs. Big win for the Jaguars. The Jaguars, the Chargers, the Bills all get in the playoffs tomorrow night if the Niners beat the Colts. Speaking of the Niners, preview of the Niners and the Bears coming up when we come back.
Welcome back to the Chevrolet postgame.
We're on primetime TV. The whole world watches.
Watch this.
Oh, Merry Christmas. We are 7 Sundays from Santa Clara. We'll be out there next Sunday night. And we know 5 of the NFC teams that are in the tournament. Seattle in, Philly in with their win over Washington on Saturday. The Bears and the 49ers join the Rams in the tournament. Carolina, they are a game ahead of Tampa Bay. Their last matchup, week 18, could still matter. And if Green Bay wins or Detroit loses next week or the following week, the Packers get in the playoffs. Magic number is 1. But we focus on San Francisco and Chicago. So I was in Chicago in August. The Bills were practicing against the Bears. I was there to see the Bills. I was talking to some of the Bears folks. Said, you guys have us on the schedule week 17. We're probably not going to see you. Probably flex out of that, but hopefully it'll be a good year. And now, Chris, we may have one of the games of the year next Sunday in Santa Clara.
So the Bears now have 6 games that they've won when they were trailing with under 2 minutes to go. That's impossible. That can't happen. So it's a miracle that they are where they are right now. But as big a miracle that San Francisco is. This was a salary dump year for the 49ers. This was a reset year. And here they are on the brink and even have the possibility of the #1 seed, depending on how it goes down the stretch. I just think these two teams that we're going to see next week are at the top of the list of there's no way this happened in the NFL. And as we all know, it always happens in the NFL.
And with the Super Bowl in their stadium, San Francisco, they can keep winning and keep winning, and they may play the Super Bowl at home. Incredible story. Chicago, San Francisco, New England getting in the playoffs this weekend. Of note, they all finished last in their division last year. Coming up this week on Today, going to get you holiday ready, last-minute gifts, dishes, special holiday performances live in the Plaza. Always a great week. Christmas week on the Today Show every morning this week. Our final score here in Baltimore. The Patriots rally at the end to beat the Ravens 28-24 and lock down a playoff berth. Coming up next, except on the West Coast, it is your local news. Thanks to Matt Marvin for joining us in the chair tonight, producing next to the Hall of Famer, our director, Drew Esselkoff. With Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark, Terry McCauley. Merry Christmas, pal.
Merry Christmas.
And to all of you as well. Merry Christmas to your Sunday Night Football crew. We'll see you next weekend in Santa Clara. Enjoy.
Merry Christmas.
NBC Sports, home of Super Bowl 60. Thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.